Hey guys, so I want to talk to you about FREEDOM. And I know this has been a big theme for today. I've been out and about today myself and, wanted to be out and feeling the ability to just move around in any manner that I wanted to. And I know you guys have been feeling this too. And so I wanted to pop on here and talk a minute about that and breaking through feeling stuck, because we don't feel that empowerment to do what we want in life when we feel stuck. And yet we're feeling the pull to have that experience so much since this month began, more than ever before. And so, how can we do that? Do you feel like you've tried everything to break through to infinite abundance and yet it eludes you? Do you feel like you have small experiences of success and then you sabotage it, or you end up in fear and unworthiness, and so you don't keep the momentum going, or you lose the momentum? Are you afraid to speak your truth for fear of backlash? That happened to me a couple weeks ago where I got some serious backlash, and I'll share a little bit about that and how I navigated that and didn't let it stop me. Because that is how we get to the true experience of living a life we love, living a life of possibilities, living a life full of curiosity about what's next. And that's what we're feeling today. And, ever since we started March, too, there's been such a pull to purpose and figuring out and understanding and learning about ourselves on a deeper level, what our real divine purpose is, and what we want to do with our life, what kind of legacy we want to leave, what kind of breakthrough we want to have with that this month, how we can answer only to ourselves first. That's been a very big theme. And so, talking about that and how do we get there, and what is my experience with that, and what is my experience with my clients with that. So if you don't know me, hello, welcome to everyone who's on the live. I'm kristenvalus. I am a quantum numerologist, certified BrainGAME and wealth expansion coach. And I'm really happy to be here this evening and have a chance to talk to you. And this is just the energy of today is really pulling us to this experience to be free and to really have the life that we want, and making the changes that are required. That there's information coming in today that's asking us to pivot and make changes, be willing to change, be willing to get curious about how can we really experience a life we love, because that's going to be a theme again tomorrow, is about how do you experience that life you love? How do you create that? And is it even possible? And that's the question we're asking ourselves today. Is it possible? Or you're invited to ask today. Get curious about that, because, I met someone last week, and he was all gung-ho. He wanted to date me, he wanted to take me to dinner, he was so persistent. And then when we started talking, and I started talking about possibilities and living in possibility and living a life you love, and really leaning into all of the things that I talk about all the time and that I believe in, all of a sudden he turned into a major hater. And he sent me messages after messages. I blocked him, but they just kept coming in. And all of this hate rhetoric, I mean serious hate rhetoric, like I really triggered him just by talking about possibilities, just by talking about that you can have it all, that you can actually have a life you love. And that I've been stepping into that, and stepping into more health, better health, and more love in my life. And experiencing financial abundance, and overflowing financial abundance, not just getting by. Enough of that already. Like, let's actually be abundant, because when we get to share that with the world. We get to flow that money to the rest of the world. I'm just going to take these off because they're such a glare. So we can flow that to the rest of the world, and imagine what's possible to create when we have that financial abundance. You know, a lot of healers, teachers, coaches, and change makers, they don't feel worthy of having the abundance. They don't feel like it's right to charge, or to charge a, a, a reasonable amount for their services and their gifts. And they don't feel like they don't understand the importance of being in the flow and being willing to be in the flow themselves, so that they can teach other people how to do that too. And this is something that I've been working on learning for myself over the years, and really diving in deep with this, because this has been a lifelong struggle for me around money and allowing money to flow in, and being stuck in that. And so this idea of, imagine the possibilities of what you can actually create in the world, and how many incredible organizations you could flow money to if you had more money. What can you build? What can you create? But you have to allow yourself to be in that flow. And how can you help other people step into abundance in their life if you're not willing to step into the flow of financial abundance? So really about understanding that is available to all of us, that infinite abundance of everything, of money, of health, of love, of all the resources and experiences that you want to have, that we're all capable of consciously creating those experiences. And when people don't want to accept that that's the truth, and that they've actually been living a life of misery and suffering, sometimes that can be really jarring. I remember when I first started waking up out of being in the cult that I was in for 3 years. If you don't know my story, I was in a cult for 3 years, and that realization of the time that you feel like you wasted, and how stupid you felt, and how could I believe all these things, and you have to go through that process. Well, in this process of waking up right now, of shifting consciousness on the planet and up-leveling the consciousness on the planet, every human has to go through that process at some point. And so when they do, there can be this shame that rises up around, how could I have believed that? And, and the beating yourself up and feeling just so much shame and guilt, and like you wasted time and all this stuff. But what can happen when that happens is that there can be a backlash that this person will project onto other people to try and make up for that shame, so they don't have to feel it. And when that happens, there can be a real anger that's expressed through that person, because they don't have the consciousness level yet to understand that they didn't make a mistake. Everything's an experience, that it had a significance in their journey, that there wasn't any wasted time, all of this, right? And we all have our own divine timing of when we actualize, when we have these awarenesses, when we wake up, and that happens in exactly the right time for each person. And so there's a lot of anger going on right now being expressed, because there's a lot of people that don't understand this process. And there's this process of waking up and this backlash. So what happened with this person last week was, he was so threatened by the idea that he might have been living this life of misery and struggling and suffering for so long, and that it isn't actually necessary, and that you do actually have a choice, and you have the power to create what you want. And he couldn't accept that. He couldn't accept the responsibility for that. And so he had to spew all this anger at me, and try and make up for his own feelings of lack and inadequacy and upset at this discovery, and try and justify staying in his struggle and misery. And he's just not ready to move through and shift his consciousness yet. It's not his divine timing, and that's okay. And I mean, he went so far as to just like send me message after message, and and saying all these really hateful, angry things and cursing me and wishing me dead and all of this stuff and telling me, what a scam artist I am and a horrible person, and how can I take people's money and mislead them this way and tell them that they can have whatever they want, and just on and on and on, because he was so threatened by the idea and so not willing to take responsibility for creating a life that he loves. But really, that's the key, is that, we get unstuck by having this awareness, by being willing to be aware that we are actually conscious creators and we do have the ability to create a life that we want. And so, some of the ways that we can do that are to learn more about ourselves. I'm just going to see who's on here. Oh, hello, Shell. Hello, Rosalie. Oh, got that's paper clip stuck to my glasses. Yeah, my office is a little crazy right now. Hello, you guys. Welcome. I'm so glad to see you on the live. And this is the key right now to really breaking through and getting unstuck. And so having the awareness, first of all, that you are a conscious creator, that you can actually, that is possible to create whatever you want. And and then forgiving yourself and accepting yourself for right where you are now, that there's nothing wrong with where you are now, and that even if you're in a place where you might feel stuck, there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. And that you're having this awareness in your own divine timing. And so, and you'll take the action and start taking responsibility when it's time for you to do that, and not before. And we're being called right now to allow the breakthroughs to come in. And so we do that through getting some help if we need it, and being willing to be open to congregating with other people who have done this before us, who've walked this path before us, like I have, like so many of my clients have, that are now creating programs and things for people to walk through to help support them through this process of this consciousness shift, of this awakening. So, what ends up happening when you do start walking through this is you start accepting yourself more, you start loving yourself more, you start knowing yourself more, you start knowing what you really want, you start to get to a place where you find out what you love, what you really love, what you really want, what you value in life, and starting to come more in alignment with that. That's really a key to getting unstuck, because if you're not willing to discover who you are and what you want and why you want it, and get clarity around that, it's very difficult to create any momentum. And that's where that feeling of stuck comes from, because you don't have the focus, you don't have the clarity, and so you can't create momentum. Those are the two things that are required to create momentum. And so to get unstuck, you need those things. Well, you have to be willing to dig in and do some inner work, and be willing to look deep into yourself and go, okay, what's going on here? What have I been doing? How have I been sabotaging myself? Or where have I been in drama? Or where have I been playing the victim to life? And how can I, step out of that and move forward and get some clarity and get some focus and create the life I want? And, I tried so many different things over the course of my life, because I was really suffering. I was really suffering my whole adult life. I was really suffering in and out of poverty, homelessness, bankruptcy, all of that chronic illness, debilitating illness, relationships that didn't work, divorce, and, just all kinds of just not having the friends that I would like to have, the love that I wanted to have in my life, the experiences I wanted to have. Life was so hard. It was so hard. And I was always trying to find the answer outside myself. I've moved over 80 times in my life to different apartments. I've, moved across the country and back again. And, I've done so many things. I've tried to find things through other relationships, through people, through But never did I really do the work inside myself until 3 years ago. And that's when I started, working with numerology and working with self mastery and mastering my emotions, mastering my life. And it made all the difference. I started learning about universal laws and how the world actually works. Not what we've been taught, but actually how things really work. And energetically understanding the energetic flow of things, and the biggest part that happened through all of this, which is not what I set out to do, it wasn't what I focused on doing for the most part. I do now because I see the value in it and how much it's changed things. But the biggest byproduct of doing this work and really starting to get to know myself and get to know what's important to me, not what everyone else has told me should be important to me, or what I should want to do, or what I should do. None of that, but really getting to know what I want. What happened is I started to love myself. I started to love myself, which was like something that I just never wanted to do. I never wanted to talk about that. I never, and every time someone would bring that up, it was like, I tried a few things about that, and, affirmations and mirror work and things like that. And I never got any results from it. Well, it's because you need all the pieces. You need all the pieces. I wasn't willing to accept myself. I wasn't willing to forgive myself for things in the past. I wasn't willing to get honest with myself and other people. And now I am. And it's made such a big difference in my life. I mean, huge. My whole life is changing. I've got more stability in my life. I've got more loving friendships and relationships. My experience with my family is so much better, so much more loving, so much more open, and we actually enjoy each other's company when we visit. There's just so many changes. The changes in my financial situation. I just had my biggest month ever of my life, my biggest earning month ever, from working a job or having a business of my own. And it's been incredible. And, just being willing to keep going, keep the focus, and go and keep the momentum going until I had the breakthrough, and not giving up. And so I teach people how to do this. And last month wasn't the first time I've done this. It was just a new level of breakthrough for me, which was pretty freaking amazing. But I've had many, many breakthroughs since I've started doing this work, and huge changes throughout time. My health has improved so much. And I know, I shared that I had COVID back in January, and I was having a lot of trouble getting rid of the cough, and it was just hanging on for like almost a month and a half now. And today I took cues from my body. It wanted me to do a 369 cleanse, which I talked about in my monthly forecast, and so I started doing it, and I'm on day 5. And I was able to sing today for over an hour without any coughing, without any dry throat, without any problem with that, which is the first time in a month and a half I've been able to do that. So I'm really excited about that. And all of this work has taught me how to do that, how to get unstuck with your health. If you can't get rid of that cough, how to get unstuck. Thank you, Rosalie. Yeah, it is exciting. And this is the thing. I just apply what I'm learning in, all of my studies into every area of my life. And, okay, my body's giving me a message. What do I need to do here? What does it want? Instead of trying to figure it out in my brain or throwing everything at it, my old me would have been, oh, I've got to take all these supplements and do all this stuff. And if it wants supplements, that's fine. But I was always approaching it from my mind and not actually listening to what it wanted. It wants more sleep right now. So, giving it the things that it wants and being able to experience those breakthroughs. And, I'm not even done with the 9-day cleanse, and I'm only halfway through, and it's already improving dramatically. So, I healed myself from all kinds of chronic illness, RA, MS, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, PTSD, depression, anxiety, all this stuff by doing this work. I had some success with just, doing the food stuff, but what really took it to the next level and allowed me to have the big breakthroughs was doing this work. And where I started was the brain game. And if you know my mentor Joy Kingsborough, she created the brain game. She talks about the brain game and what it can do for you. But I'm telling you, I now teach it, and I decided after the first time I took it that I wanted to teach it because it was such a powerful experience for me. It was so different than anything else I had tried. And the secret is that it works with the cycle of divine timing. It works with the universal laws. So when you go into the program, you start at the beginning of the cycle and you go through in order so that you can actually experience the breakthrough. And I'm in the 8th week with my clients now. We're doing a group session and we're in week 8 and they are already experiencing massive breakthroughs. They've changed so much in 8 weeks. They've got 2 more weeks to go. I cannot wait to find out what happens. And they went from feeling like things were impossible and being totally stuck in certain areas of their life to now they're so excited about what's coming next and what they're creating, and they're actively creating it, and they're not even done with the brain game yet. It's so powerful. And so this is where I just get so elated about all of this because this is why I love doing this. This is why I love doing what I do, because I get to see how fast in just 10 weeks that somebody can completely start changing their life, completely, from being really stuck and focused on this problem over here. And by the end of 10 weeks, this problem is gone. And they're focused on creating something big in their life, something that they really want to do, something that they love, something that was maybe a secret desire that they were afraid to even let themselves speak out loud or even acknowledge that they had. I mean, it's really, really incredible. Every time I go through this with my clients and for myself, it's just incredible, the breakthroughs and everything that happen, and just watching those transformations. It just phenomenal. And so this is really how you know how to get what you want, how you stop self-sabotage, how you reduce and eliminate anxiety, which has been such a huge thing for people in the past couple of years and really is amped up this year even more. And I didn't think that was possible after 2020 and 2021, but it is. And so being able to help people do that through this program has been really phenomenal. And when people come out of this, when I've come out of this, you have more confidence in every area of your life. You have more confidence to speak your truth and not worry about the backlash, because there can be a lot of backlash right now. And that guy put a curse on me and it didn't stop me. It didn't send me, into fear. It didn't shut me up. It didn't, cause me to stray from my path at all. But that would not have been the case 3 years ago. Not at all. I would have been in fear. I would have been in drama with him. And this process, this brain game helps you to free yourself from drama. It frees you from negative thinking. So even if somebody else is spewing stuff at you, you're not going to take that on. You're just not. You're going to be confident. You're going to be confident in your relationships. You're going to be confident with your health, like I was sharing about my body. You're going to be confident in every area of your life with your money. You're going to be confident in knowing that you not only know how to manage your money, but that you know how to be in the flow of infinite abundance, of infinite wealth, because that is available to all of us. And, finding the easier way to get your dreams, the faster results, if you focus with clarity and create the momentum and keeping the momentum and how to do that. You get all of that when you go through this program. And not only that, but you get support all the way through, and then lifetime support beyond that. And I don't like coming on here and giving pitches or anything like that, but when I really believe in something, I don't have a problem doing it, because this has been such a powerful force in my life and in everyone who's taken it. Thousands of people have now taken the brain game, and it has created a wave of transformation, a wave of breakthroughs, and helping change makers, healers, teachers, and people who are here to make a difference in the world. If you're one of those people and you're wanting to see a better world, if you're wanting to see a world based in love instead of hate, if you're wanting things to change, if you want to experience more freedom and you're feeling like you have to demand it from outside of you, you're missing the boat. You're missing the boat, because it doesn't come from outside of you. It comes from within. You just need to claim it. No one else can give you freedom. No one else can give you freedom. You need to claim it for yourself. And there's no need to fight for it. It's already yours. You will learn how to step into that. Step out of the drama, step out of the all of the crazy that's going on in the world today. You don't have to participate in it. It is a choice. And you may be wondering, how is that possible? And I just invite you to open up to be curious. How is that possible? What if that is possible? What if this woman who is sitting here telling me that I can have all these things and I'm not believing her, what if it actually is possible? Because she's got it. What's different about her than me, right? Is she just lucky? Am I lucky? I am lucky. But you are too. We all create our own luck. We all create our own experience. So, I'm not unique. I'm not special in that way. I'm not one of the chosen few who can have this experience. It is available to all of us. We can all get unstuck. We can all feel worthy to have the infinite abundance that wants to pour into us right now. It's already pouring in. And if you're not seeing that in your life, if you're experiencing health issues, if you're experiencing relationship problems, if you're experiencing problems in work or career, or not getting the results that you want, if you are not experiencing the love in the world that you want, if you're feeling lack in any area of your life, this is the invitation to you. Get curious about, what if it's possible that I could have it all? What if it's possible that I could even allow myself to dream about what might be possible? Because for some people, for a lot of people actually, even that is terrifying. To even let yourself dream, that maybe there's something better out there. Maybe there's something possible. But there's so much possible. And I want you to experience that. I want you to experience more wealth, more health, more love, more success in every area of your life. I want you to be in that stream of infinite abundance. So I'm going to keep sharing this message. I'm going to keep talking about this. I'm going to keep inviting you to experience more happiness and freedom and joy and love. And I'm going to keep telling you that life is meant to be easy. Life is meant to be happy. Life is meant to be fulfilling. And life is meant to be wealthy. You are meant to have all of the resources, financially and physically, everything that you desire in your experience. You are meant to have it, and you can have it. And I can help teach you how to do that. So this Tuesday, March 8th, we are starting another round of the Brain Game. And I am inviting you to join us for that. The link is in the description for the video here. And you can click on that for more information if you are one that is visual and likes details about what things are in visual. And you can click the button there if you already know and you've been thinking about this. This is a good day with this energy to commit to yourself, and tomorrow too, to commit to yourself and commit to living the life that you love. Click the button to register. If you need a payment plan, message me. There's a button there to click to schedule a chat with me if you want to chat about it and find out if the brain game is right for you right now, if it's your divine timing. And I will be honest with you about that. So that is the invitation to you today, and I'm so grateful that you've come and spent this time with me. This is the way to get unstuck. This is the way I know. This is the way that has worked for me. And really falling in love with myself, getting to know myself, understanding what I want, why I want it, and how to create it. And knowing and trusting that I can create it, that anything is possible, has been the key for me and for all of my clients that have gone through this as well. We're all out there now creating amazing things in the world, writing books and creating programs and, helping and supporting other people in this consciousness shift and creating and spreading so much love in the world and so much amazing stuff and so much money they're circulating in the world. And it's truly exciting. I want this for you too, but you have to want it for yourself. You have to be ready. And if that is you, please click the link and join us. Thanks for listening, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.